Hello everyone, I'm Jill Bevan and I live here in Edgeside in Rossendale. I've lived here for 17 years. I'm married to Rod and we have two children, David, who is married to Lindsay, and they live in Whitewell Bottom with our grandson Joshua, who's nearly 5 and has just started school. And our daughter Rachel, she married Jeff last year, and she and Jeff live in St Ives, just outside of Cambridge, and they both work for the same law firm. Rachel's a family law solicitor. I grew up in Southampton on the south coast. It's a large port, so I'm a southerner and a city girl. And I lived with my mum and my dad and my sister Jane. We lived on the outskirts of the city, and I enjoyed living by the sea. I miss living by the sea now. We didn't have our own seaside, but within half an hour we could get to a sandy beach, but the sea was a big part of people's lives in Southampton. It was a busy port, and I grew up there. I went to school there, but when I was 18 I left Southampton to go to uni in Birmingham, and I've never returned to live there. I've gradually moved further north. My favourite food is easy. My favourite food is fish and chips, or the chips in particular, but I realise that's not a very healthy choice, so I will have some fish with it or some scampi with it, and it does need to come from the chip shop. We do limit ourselves to once a week because I know it's not good for you. My favourite book and film was more difficult. I think I would go for, favourite book is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and linked with that I would take the BBC version where Colin Firth is Mr Darcy as my favourite film, and I can remember many happy hours spent watching that time and time again with my daughter. It's a very funny book, very funny film. My favourite place to visit would be Cornwall, in particular the north coast, the Atlantic coast of Cornwall, with the surfing waves. I spent many holidays with David and Rachel when they're younger, and then with them when they're older, with our grandson as well. Surfing, going to the beaches, particularly the one place would be Padstow. So if you could have Rick Stein's fish and chips walking along the coast at Padstow, that's the best day out. But we do also like walking. We like walking the coastal footpath. It's a beautiful piece of coastline. I linked to St Anne's. My husband Rod is the vicar here, so we live right next door to the church. Very convenient for getting to early morning events. So I'm a member here of the church family, a lovely family of people of all ages, from naught through to late 90s, people who pre-pandemic we used to meeting together regularly, not just Sundays. We were working together to share God's love with the community around us, to people of all ages. We used the church building, we worked outside the church. Example, I spent 3 evenings a week in the Boiler House, which is a youth centre, 11 to 18 year olds. We welcome to the Boiler House, just down the hill from the church, to a variety of activities for them. But along with church activities, the Boiler House activities are now still going on, but they're online, on social media. We're still working to share just the love of God in what for many people are very difficult times.